Feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Welcome back, everybody. Had an amazing show with Sheri Chaney Jones, founder and CEO of Sure Impact. Had a great discussion today on a lot of things. Just an incredible journey in a short amount of time. It's amazing to look back over a 10 or 15-year time frame and then just think about the next 15 years being as active or as life changing. But share with our audience a little bit about where you were and when you made the change and what the last 15 years have looked like.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. I feel like my entrepreneurial journey it's been a story of things I resisted. Prior to becoming an entrepreneur, I had a 10-year career in government, helping government entities better measure and communicate their impact and value. And it just became super obvious right around the Great Recession, 2008 timeframe, that more nonprofits, government entities needed to be using data to solve complex social problems. So that's what inspired me to take the leap of faith and start my first company, Measurement Resources Company, which is a consulting firm helping the same group, nonprofits and governments, measure and communicate their story. But after 5 years, I got the biggest leap of my life was when our customers were coming to me and saying, "We love the insights your firm's providing. What technology should we be using?" And I'm a researcher, so I did extensive market research. I thought I'll find the product, the partner I want to work with, and that'll be fine. But realized that what I thought should be on the market didn't exist. And so I needed to create it. So that launched me into now a founder and CEO of a high growth tech company, Sure Impact.
That's great. And sort of from what you had said early on, in your career, I think at the core of what you've tried to do is like the social impact, the change that provides for people, and in allowing leaders to make like consistent small changes along the way. Uh, what have you seen early on with those changes, and like maybe what's one story that you think is sort of held true to the philosophy that made you feel good?
Yeah. So one of I think our biggest success stories, which I love telling her story. She's a leader of a nonprofit helping kids. And her big goal, and I knew we were going to hit it off when I first met her. She said, "I have a big goal. Right now, 1 in 5 young people are diagnosed with mental illness. That's pretty tragic, I think." And she's like, "I have a goal. In this generation, I want to change that to 1 in 10." And so we kind of hit it off, and she's like, "But I know the only way I can do that is if I'm using data to make sure that my programs are effective and we really are moving the needle in diagnosed symptomology of children with mental illness." So since that time, she's now able to prove how her programs are effective. She has the data, and she has raised 11 million more dollars. So she's basically taken her organization from a $14 million a year organization to a $25 million a year organization, has scaled her programs in the entire community. It's
That's
an amazing.
wonderful.
Yeah.
That makes you feel good.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Um, One thing that I know that's been I think your core is helping other female entrepreneurs. We talked about at the
Hmm.
park with some of the moms and just them
Yeah.
not relating. But how have you been able to help others as you've even been sort of in the middle of your journey too?
Yeah. Well, at one point I realized that only 2% of all business owners are females making over $1 million in revenue in their business. So when I felt alone, I realized, oh, it's because I am alone. And just like my friend who's wanting to change the number of kids diagnosed with mental illness, I realized I wanted to change the number of women who were entrepreneurs and have built those scalable companies, because that's how we create generational wealth. So I've been involved in NABO Columbus in a leadership level. I share on podcasts like this, partially for that reason, is to inspire other women to go after their dreams. I serve on the Columbus Mayor's Women's Commission. So just love to talk to anyone and everyone about how do you scale and grow successful companies, because although women are starting businesses almost equally as men, getting to that scalable place that provides that generational wealth is few and far between.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us. And for our listeners, the best way to reach out is at sureimpact.com. And again, you can really listen to us on any streaming service, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio. So we look forward to seeing everybody next week.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp